It's his second time through and he hasn't even taken a hit yet. He's a wizard.
Do you realize how many outside systems I've gone into? How many programs I've appropriated?
You were recruited by the Star League to defend
the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Just keep your power gloves off her, pal, huh?
Damage report! Guidance system out. Auxiliary steering out. Defense! She won't answer the helm. What do? We die.
Hello, welcome to the Gamers Must Die podcast. I'm your host, Ben Malahan, here with my co-host, Jared Riley.
Hello.
And today, joining us for yet another interview is one of our prospects, Alex Morrow.
Pleasure to be here.
So, I guess to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, why you want to be a part of this podcast.
Well, I play an awful lot of video games, and I'm talking about them anyways, and I'm poor. I'm terribly, terribly poor. So I figured, if I can get paid doing something that I already do, all the better.
Right, awesome. Well, being in it for the money is something I totally respect.
We do make the big bucks here on the Gamers Must Die podcast.
With our legions of sponsors.
It's definitely not just about the money, though.
No, I know. Cool. Well, are you more of a PC gamer, console gamer, both? What was your preference in terms of gaming?
I grew up doing console, but I recently got a gaming computer, and it has entirely changed my life. I don't think I've touched my Xbox since I got my PC.
Yeah. So what kind of games are you playing right now?
Right now, I'm playing an embarrassing amount of Final Fantasy XIV. So that's been a big thing for my friends and I. We have a free company that's like 10 people strong, and that's probably what I'm going to do for like 5 hours after this interview. So
that's the new one that got really improved with a patch about a year ago. Like there was a huge update. Did you play it originally before that huge patch? Or?
I didn't. I was waiting for them to.
You just got your PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was also waiting for them to iron out the kinks because I had just heard so many flawed things about it at the time. So.
Did you play 11?
I didn't play 11.
Okay. So is this like your first big MMO that you've played then?
Oh, no. I played a lot of MMOs. I played Asheron's Call, World of Warcraft, all the tiny ones too, like Maple Story.
Okay, cool.
I played RuneScape, so it's definitely nothing new to me.
Wow, okay. So yeah, you're the MMO expert then. But I played WoW, and Jared, you're big into WoW as well.
And I like Star Wars Tour.
Oh, have you played that yet? Old Republic?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Again, it was just one of those things where it didn't really, like the reviews I was reading didn't quite overwhelm me. Yeah. And so.
It's just like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. It's fun, but yeah. Cool. Well, do you have any news you want to talk about at all?
I brought a couple of articles with me.
Great. Let me do a little news intro here. Hold on. You don't have to have the headphones on. Don't even worry about it.
I was just curious. Let's see here.
It's a sweet intro.
Yeah.
Sometimes simple is better. All right. So I brought a couple of articles that have entirely different vibes to them.
All right.
The first one is about Darkest Dungeon.
Okay. What's that?
It's a game that was just released on Steam for early access. It's kind of like it's a turn-based game, an RPG, but it's a dungeon crawler, and it has permadeath, and it's supposed to be incredibly hard.
Is it like a first-person dungeon crawler, like the 3D dungeon thing, or?
It looks like a mix between like 2D and 3D because like there's the all the hallways that are randomly generated. It's just like a straight line.
Right.
But the traps and monsters that are generated in them are different each time. So you don't have as much like the exploration aspect, like you don't get to crawl into random rooms or anything like that, but every level is different.
Okay.
And I think that aspect is 3D, but the fighting itself is 2D.
Okay.
It's kind of like very stylized illustrations.
Right.
And like I said, it's turn-based, so the attacks are really simply animated. It's more like an effects kind of thing than actually showing the characters moving.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of like a traditional 3D dungeon crawler.
But it's turn-based. How?
No, well, like it's Shining in the Darkness, that old game. That was turn-based. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I get what we're saying.
I think that's what.
But does that mean you have to memorize like really complex like paths and stuff?
Is there like an in-game map? Do you know that you kind of
You don't really need it because, like I said, all the hallways are just perfectly straight.
Oh, okay. So it's not super complex maze-like.
No,
Okay.
there's not an awful lot of memorization that goes on, but the one thing that people have been struggling with is that there is a sanity aspect because it's definitely a little bit Lovecraftian in nature.
Okay.
So your characters they have stress levels, and the more terrible things that happen to you in a dungeon, the harder it'll be to keep your characters under control because they'll start to develop like mental quirks where they get like like abusive personality traits or schizophrenia or like all kinds of like lovely stuff like
That's
that
kinda
as you
awesome.
play. Yeah.
I actually might have to try this game.
Just to mess up your characters, give them all sorts of emotional issues.
Exactly.
Well-
It instantly piqued my interest. I just want to see how fucked up they were by the end of my round.
Right. That's awesome.
It had me at turn-based.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. You love turn-based
I'm really
combat.
sorry. Are we allowed to cuss? Because I
No,
generally curse like a
fucking
sailor.
No.
Okay.
No, you're fine. Trust me. No, you're allowed. There's no rules. There's no rules.
Fucking curse on my podcast.
I'm so fucking sorry.
Cool. Well, early access. Have you played any early access games before on Steam?
A couple of them. I've been playing Don't Starve Together, the beta.
Oh, okay. Is that like a sequel?
Sort of. It's like they just added a multiplayer component and some additional
Okay.
bosses, and
Okay.
like one of my friends is actually doing like concept work for Don't Starve Together beta, so I got in on that really early.
Wow.
But I generally try to stay away from the paying for early access games.
Yeah.
I just I try not to give people money until the game has been out for a little while and I can read some reviews. The bugs are ironed out. Like I've had my heart broken too many times to go around doing that. So
Yeah, I haven't purchased an early access game yet. Not for any particular reason. I just haven't seen anything that really stood my interest. But
Is this like paying to be a beta tester?
or an
Pretty
alpha
much.
tester sometimes. I mean,
But
sometimes
why would
it's
someone pay to do that? Isn't that free work?
to be exclusive.
just to get
I don't like that.
people. I don't know. I don't understand why certain things appeal to people. That's one of them. I don't really understand.
I guess, I mean, if it really appeals to people, then
But also, people are doing it, and then they're complaining. This game sucks. It's all so buggy and blah blah blah. Well, it's early access. You know that's kind of what you bought into. People don't really understand that fully.
I actually read a comment on that early access game, and it was just like, this doesn't feel like a finished game. I'm like, it's not a finished game. What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. People are just so ignorant.
it's sort of the fault of people saying it's early access and not just saying it's a fucking beta test, though.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of at this point. It's been out long enough. People kind of should know what's going on with all that. I don't know. Cool. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of news?
Oh man, so I found this game. Have you ever heard of Hatoful Boyfriend?
No, Jared.
Hatoful boyfriend?
Hatoful Boyfriend.
Is this a dating sim?
It is. It's a pigeon dating simulator.
A pigeon dating simulator.
Pigeon dating simulator. And I brought this one with me just because I was wondering what sort of conversation would come out of it.
Yeah.
It's a dating sim where you are the only human girl left alive and you go to an all pigeon male high school. And so it's a dating sim where you get to choose to date different types of pigeons.
Right.
It's not even illustrations of pigeons. It's just straight up photoshopped pictures of pigeons.
Okay, so it's like a comedy game.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a kind of tongue-in-cheek dealio.
Gotcha. Okay, that's hilarious. Mm-hmm. That's kind of awesome, actually.
You shouldn't
plot
make
is
fun
so
of the
weird.
dating sim genre, though, because that's a serious.
Is it serious? Have
It's
you played
serious
it?
business.
Have you played a dating sim game?
I want to.
I
I've
have.
played similar games.
Like Harvest Moon always had like the kind of really low key dating aspect.
I really want to play Clannad.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's a good one. And you could always like get on like Katawa Shoujo. I know that a lot of people use that as like their gateway drug to dating sims and got way more emotionally invested in it than they wanted to.
Is that a PC game?
It is.
Okay.
It's kind of like an independent developer game. It was actually created by a bunch of random dudes on 4chan.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
weird. And but it's actually like,
But it's
good?
actually like pretty high quality for a genre.
jeez, wow,
I know.
that's crazy. That one game that came out a while back called Catherine or something.
Oh yeah.
I never played it. It always looked kind of interesting though. It was kind of like a semi dating sim, I think. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was definitely a social aspect to it. It was really great in a weird way because it played like Qbert, but with like hot chicks around every corner.
Weird. Mm-hmm. That's wow. I never would have thought to mix Qbert with attractive women. I don't know. It's not that really comes to mind when you play Qbert. Not that I've played it in the
dating
past 20
sims,
years.
I feel like I've played like a ton of them, but only because I've watched the animes they're based on.
Oh, are you talking about like Newgrounds, like Flash type dating sims, or?
Are you talking, yeah. What have you seen? Like
All the key animation ones.
okay, so like give some names.
Clannad, Canon, Angel, Beats.
Doesn't mean anything to me, but it might mean something to somebody out there.
Oh, it means a lot to me.
Does it really? Oh shit!
I
All
watch
right, well,
way too much anime.
all right. So let's hear what. So you've seen the games and haven't played them?
I've seen all the anime
Okay.
for like tons of these games.
Oh, so the game came first,
Yeah.
and the anime came after. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There are several things that anime usually adapts from: light novels, manga, and dating sims are like the three main ones.
Okay. Cool deal. Yeah. Well, the pigeon dating, that's kind of awesome. That is that early access as well, or is that?
No, that was released on Steam. I think it was about a month ago. Before that, it was just being sold from its website.
Okay.
And now it's coming to PS4 and Vita.
Is there pigeon sex, and is that legal in the United States?
Yeah. Right. That's a good question, actually.
And is it like implied or is it explicit?
Yeah,
Like,
right,
That's
right.
the important bit.
These
right
are the
there.
burning questions we all have.
No, that's very true. I mean, what are the pictures like are these original pictures they've taken of pigeons, or are they just like ripped from Google? I mean, because
I think that the person who created this game, one of the pigeons that you can choose to date is actually her pigeon.
Okay.
Like photographs of her own bird. And that's a little bit twisted, don't you think?
hold on. A girl created this game. A girl who owns pigeons created she has some.
She's got something going on there.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to call PETA.
Yeah. That definitely fulfilling a fantasy for her. It probably started out as a game just for herself.
Does she only have male pigeons?
That's true. Is it a male pigeon she owns? That's the
That's the
question.
important question.
Yeah.
She could be bi-pigeon sexual though, so I mean, you never know.
We don't judge.
Yeah.
I don't judge people on their pigeon gender preference at all. I never would.
Cool. Well, let's move on. Did you ever get a chance to listen to any of our older podcasts at all?
Not the older ones.
Or whatever one we linked from the thing?
I did listen to the one that you linked
Okay.
to entirety.
So we've been putting people on the spot and just basically asking, what did you dislike about it, brutally honest, and what do you think you could add, I guess, to that mix?
Let me see here. Brutally honest. I didn't like the feel of your podcast. Like, obviously, you guys are kind of like buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
This is fun for you. That's great. That's perfect. It's what got me in here. One thing that I didn't like is it didn't seem like super structured.
Yep.
That was pretty much my biggest critique right there, is that maybe if you had like more of like an itemized agenda and had like practiced what you're going to say beforehand. Although I know that the live aspect is like super appealing. And
Right. But having more of a structure is a very good point.
Yeah. And
that's really bred out of laziness that when we were doing that. Hey, you want to
Yeah.
record a podcast tonight, Jared?
I think
Yep.
if a lot of times when we did too structured, it sounded too rehearsed or something.
Yeah, we never really
It's
found
not-
that
we
happy.
sort of dialed in. We tried to be more relaxed.
Yeah, we never found the happy medium, though. I think we went too unstructured, then too structured, then back to too unstructured. Anyway, that's a good note. So, basically, what we're kind of doing is looking for somebody, because Jared and I obviously have known each other for forever. We been friends since like
20 odd years.
yeah, and so we're really comfortable talking around each other and share a lot of the same opinions. So we're looking for somebody to come in and kind of shake things up. So.
well, I'm definitely an oddball. I feel like I could throw out a lot of really weird opinions that aren't in this room.
That's good. No, that's very good. The question is, how offended do you get when somebody makes fun of things you care deeply about?
I don't get offended at all. I don't give a shit.
Perfect. That's what it's all
That
about.
works for me. I get deeply offended, so watch yourself around me.
You can rip apart whatever you want that I have, because chances are I've already done it.
Yeah.
A lot of like the comics that I ended up drawing over the years were like really self-deprecating, and like I just opened up a little like side like pet project company, which is all about like self-deprecating merchandise and
Oh.
like So
Like, what's an example of
it's really
something?
fun. Well, first of all, it's called Lonely Town. And I invented it because Valentine's Day is rolling around.
Okay.
And so all of the merchandise is about like being alone on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
And it's like little illustrations that you can put on coffee mugs, cards, showing people like holding their cats and crying, or being like, yeah, this is okay. I'm okay with this, as they're like holding their body pillow on Valentine's Day.
Right,
So,
right. That's awesome. That sounds like the kind of thing that's like one Reddit, front page article away from being super big.
I am fond of self-deprecating humor, so
And being alone on Valentine's Day.
no, I'm never alone. I have my cat.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to ask us or on your mind that you want to talk about?
I guess. Well, I already asked you guys what your process is like, so I guess
Yeah.
I have a better idea of that. I'm wondering like what the relation to like Beach Fort Media is.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, are you guys just running under like a couple of names and it's all the same sort of?
It's a conglomeration.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we're a massive corporation. No, basically, our main thing that we do is video production. And so that's where the Beachmort Media thing comes in. Really, we just have one company and that does different things. So we have...
For purposes of tax reasons, it's very convenient to only have one.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah, definitely.
Really, we could have posted the ad. I know we posted the ad for this on the Beachfort Media website, but really that was just to look more legitimate because that's our kind of really legitimate side of things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because the Gamers Must Die site right now is kind of defunct, so we didn't want to put it on there. So yeah, so it's just Beachfort Media is just our company, and then we do different things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I totally went creeping through your entire portfolio, so there was that.
Awesome. No, every
did
single
any of that?
person who applied, we creeped on Facebook. We looked for all the information we could find. Just to
I did some great Facebook stalking.
Yeah, Jared's our certified Facebook stalker.
It was
so.
pretty epic.
How did my Facebook check out?
I found it. So there's that.
But you submitted a video, so it was kind of like, well, we already kind of got a sense of who this person is pretty well.
Yeah, we didn't really need to find a headshot since we had like a live.
Yeah, we didn't have to find like what your voice sounded like or anything like that, so it kind of worked out.
Coolly.
So anyway, well, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna wrap this up. So goodbye.
Goodbye.